Hello, welcome to the fourth part of my series on how I develop my military faction and build a real military base for my colonists. I strongly advise you to watch the previous episodes if you haven't seen them yet and then continue watching this video. You're on the Johny Play channel and we're getting started. The first thing I decided was that we needed to optimize the space in our refrigerator. For this I decided to build counters on which we will store our resources and also left enough space so that the refrigerator could still store animal carcasses. After that, my colonists started hunting because the food in the warehouses is getting less and less, and our fields are not able to produce enough rice to feed all our colonists. By the way, my colonists did not share something with our guest and they started a fight. Fortunately, it did not end in anything bad and the rivals simply went about their business. I decided that for the maximum rate of fire of our mortar, the projectile should be as close as possible to it. For this, I decided to build a separate room where I will store shells. We were asked to support a fallen Imperial shuttle and agreed in exchange for 50 units of gold and 25 units of combustibles for weapon crafting. In fact, I did not really understand why they needed my help, because the Imperial military was armed so that if they wanted to, they could destroy my base from the face of the earth in a few minutes of assault. In the end, my colonists just stood by and watched as the Imperials tore apart the raiders with their cannons and futuristic assault rifles. In general, I have nothing to complain about, because I received a very good reward in fact for watching an interesting film about professional clearing of the area from raiders. I even took one prisoner, and after that a shuttle came after the Imperials and they flew away, and I received my well-deserved reward, of course. A caravan came to my map from which we bought 42 units of good medicine and 10 units of components, and also sold all unnecessary things in order to compensate our expenses. Several meteorites fell near the base. 2 of them were completely made of steel, so we decided to start extracting these resources right away. I decided that little by little it is necessary to move at least part of the floor. For this, I decided to use stone tiles, and the idea it will increase the beauty of our rooms, which will very well lift the mood of our colonists. I want to release our prisoners because, in general, they do not have any very special abilities and will simply eat our food for nothing. Of course I could sell them to the slavers, but I don't have enough food to feed them until the new caravan arrives. There is critically little food in our warehouses, so I decided to start hunting huge and dangerous rhinos. I took 4 colonists and manually started the hunt. As a result, everything ended very well, that the first and second rhinoceros fell from the hail of our bullets, and after that we carried them to our refrigerator. We were attacked by 20 raiders. We were very lucky that almost none of them had weapons that could shoot far. The most that they had was a bow, because the raiders were from some undeveloped tribe. At the same time, the shuttle that was supposed to pick up our guests arrived, and I was very afraid that the raiders might break it. But as it turned out, the raiders were as indifferent as possible, and we simply began to defend. To say that it was a hellish meat grinder is an understatement. My colonists, together with the turrets, turned the bodies of 20 raiders into a pile of meat, which we will have to burn for a long time in the crematorium, and then it will take an equally long time to clean the kill box from the blood and remains of the raiders. In the end, our guests flew away on the shuttle and the resources we were promised arrived at our base. And this is 338 units of plasteel and 3 nuclear shells for the mortar. Our colonists carried corpses from night until morning and then wiped off the blood until almost evening. A person with a special genome fell not far from our base. This race was bred to be a great lover. All representatives of this race are great conversationalists and very handsome. I even thought that it would be a good decision to take her to my colony and marry her to one of my colonists, but the problem is that this girl was a man-hater, which was the end of the matter. I decided that the ideal option would be to capture her and then sell her for a lot of money to slave traders. I wanted to expand the areas where we can sow our fields with plants because we simply do not have enough rice that we get from the existing fields. To do this, I decided to build another wall and make new plantings in that area. While my colonists were building a wall, a cluster of mechanoids with a toxic emission generator landed on the edge of our map. Now we have a new headache that I have to deal with somehow. In general, there were almost no difficulties with this. I crafted a heavy sniper rifle for our best sniper to be able to shoot the turrets when they can't get to me. But before that, I used the nuclear charge for the mortar that I was given for completing the task and destroyed almost all the mechanoid turrets with one shot. After that, I sent my sniper to finish off the one remaining turret and in parallel sent a squad of my fighters to destroy the toxic emissions generator and also the mechanoid assembly station. At this time, our colonists have already completed the wall, and now we can start planting our rice. I hope he will give us provisions as soon as possible. The food supply was almost depleted again, so I started to manually hunt dangerous animals again. This time I caught 2 mega sloths, which we also destroyed without any problems. I decided that it was time to build a multi-analyzer, and after that I started researching a high-precision machine on which it will be possible to craft plasteel and components, as well as in the future various combat armor. The Empire asked us for 1 colonist for 10 days and in return offered 11 units of the best medicine. Of course, we agreed and sent the weakest colonist to bring at least some benefit. A sharp cold has begun, and now my colonists will be forced to sit in the house doing nothing for a while. And by the way, all our crops will also die due to bad weather conditions. Meanwhile, 11 raiders decided to attack us. I didn't want to take all the fighters outside so that no one would freeze anything, so I decided that 3 would be enough. In any case, we must help our turrets, because they clearly cannot cope on their own. In the end, history repeated itself from the very beginning of the series. The bloody carnage ended with all the raiders being destroyed, and now I will have to wash my kill box for a long time. And let's end the series on a positive note. The frost is over and now my colonists can safely go outside again. I think this should end this series. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and leave a comment. And also watch other videos on the channel. Johny was with you. Goodbye.